What if I told you that becoming a millionaire isn't really about a lucky lottery ticket or some wild, risky bet? What if it's actually a skill that you can learn? Well, today we're going to decode that blueprint. We're diving into the mindset and the proven strategies that build real, sustainable wealth. Let's get into it. So let's just tackle the elephant in the room right away. Is it all just a roll of the dice? Is getting rich something that's just for people who are born into it? Or the handful of folks who get crazy lucky on a stock pick? A lot of people think the whole path to millions is just a big, unsolvable mystery. But here's the thing our source material makes crystal clear. It's not a mystery at all. It's a mindset. It all starts right up here, between your ears. Wealth isn't something you just stumble upon. It's something you build piece by piece with intention. And it all starts with how you think. And that brings us right to step one, the starting point. I want you to think of your wealth like you're building a massive skyscraper. Before you can even think about going up, you have to build a rock-solid foundation. And for us, that foundation is your mindset. At its core, it really comes down to this choice. On one side, you've got the scarcity perspective. That's a defensive game, right? Clipping coupons, agonizing over a $5 coffee. But the abundance mentality, that's all offense. It asks, how can I create more value? How do I expand my income? It sees opportunities where everyone else just sees roadblocks. So this powerful foundation, it really rests on three big shifts in your thinking. First, you've got to embrace delayed gratification. That's the discipline to invest for your future self instead of spending it all today. Second, adopting that abundance mentality we just talked about. And third, and this is so important, committing to always be learning about money because the rules of the game are constantly changing. Okay, so our foundation is poured and solid. Now we need a plan. We need an architectural design. This is step two, your blueprint. Think about it. A building without a plan is just a random pile of steel and concrete. Your finances are exactly the same. A real financial plan isn't some vague wish like, I want to be rich someday. Nope, it's a written down strategic roadmap. It has specific, measurable goals, like a target net worth by a certain age, and it has realistic timelines. It's basically the business plan for your own life. And putting one together is simpler than you'd think. First, get super specific. Not, I want $1 million, but $1 million in investment assets by the time I'm 45. Second, map out exactly how you're going to get there, your savings targets, your investment strategy, and maybe the most important part, write it down. A goal that isn't on paper is just a daydream. But here's the catch. A beautiful blueprint is totally useless if you don't have the steel and concrete to actually build with. For our financial skyscraper, that material is your income. This leads to a crucial point. You have to maximize what you earn. There's a limit to how much you can cut, but there's no limit to how much you can earn. So how do you do that? Well, the source material points to three huge levers you can pull. One, become absolutely indispensable at what you do. Be a top performer who solves the big problems. Two, build something of your own, because most millionaires have ownership in a business. And three, master the art of negotiation. Every single raise you get compounds over your entire career. All right, foundations laid, blueprints designed, materials are secured. Now, it's time for step three, the engine of growth. This is the heavy machinery that's going to actually power the construction, lifting our skyscraper higher and higher, floor by floor. And that engine is fueled by one thing, discipline, saving, and investing. So what's the target number? The place to start? 20%. Aim to save and invest at least 1/5 of every single dollar you earn, every time. And as your income grows, you push that number higher, avoiding that trap of just spending more because you make more. So why is investing so powerful? Well, it's because of something Albert Einstein supposedly called the eighth wonder of the world, and that's compound interest. This is the secret sauce, folks. This is the force that does all the heavy lifting for you over time. Let's see how this actually works. Imagine you invest just $1,000 every single month, and it earns an average of 8% a year. The results at first are pretty solid. But what happens over time? Well, that's where the real magic is. So check this out. After 10 years, you've got about 150 grand. Nice. But watch what happens in the next 10 years. It more than triples to over $500,000. And that last decade, oh man, it nearly triples again, soaring past 1.5 million. That is exponential growth. At that point, your money is making way more money than you are. So let's keep building. Step 4 is all about how we accelerate and diversify. In our skyscraper analogy, this is like opening up multiple construction sites at once. We're adding new floors and new support beams at the same time. You'll almost never find a self-made millionaire who just has one paycheck. It's incredibly rare. They build multiple streams of income for two big reasons: security, so if one stream dries up, the others keep flowing, and speed. More streams just means more capital to pour into that compounding engine we just saw. And these income streams, they really fall into a few key categories. You start with earned income from your job. Then you can add business income from a company you own. Then comes investment income from your portfolio. And the holy grail, really, is passive income from things like rental properties or royalties, assets that make you money while you sleep. Okay, we've built our skyscraper high. It's an incredible structure. But you know, a tall building is vulnerable to storms. And this brings us to our final and absolutely critical step 5, protecting your fortress. It's not just about what you make, it's about what you keep. I love this analogy from the source material because it's just so true. You can work your tail off to fill your financial bucket, but if you don't plug the holes, every drop is just going to leak right out. Protection is everything. So how do you plug those holes? Through 4 key strategies. You need comprehensive insurance for when disaster strikes. You need the right legal structures to shield your assets. You need smart tax planning to keep as much as you're legally allowed. And you have to be constantly vigilant against lifestyle inflation, that silent killer of wealth. As we wrap this up, let's just remember the core message here. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not about shortcuts. Becoming a millionaire is about the patient, disciplined execution of these proven strategies, day after day, year after year. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So we've covered the entire blueprint, from the mental foundation all the way to the protective roof. You now have the core framework to build your very own financial skyscraper. So the only question left is the one on your screen. You have the blueprint. What are you going to build first? Thanks for joining us.